Good evening. Welcome to TCB Studios and welcome to Burn It Down. I'd like to thank Renée Yaworsky behind the scenes, everyone else behind the scenes, everyone watching tonight on this Monday. We really appreciate you, and I'm excited for the ride that you are about to go on. You know what I love? I love when life throws these little serendipitous, funny things at us. Just about an hour ago in TCB Studios, I was listening to the Sid and Nancy soundtrack from the 1986 Alex Cox movie, Sid and Nancy with Gary Oldman. Lovely movie, also a little bit hard to watch, but brilliant soundtrack. I think Henry might agree with me. And one of the bands on the soundtrack is a band called Pray for Rain, which was basically Joe Strummer writing under another name because he I guess couldn't use his name at that time. He was dealing with stuff with his record company. And out loud, I manifested to the gods, these Greek gods up there, and I go, man, I could use a little rain. I'm praying for rain right now. And then all of a sudden, I just felt rain hitting this window. It feels awesome, and it feels magical, and it just makes me realize that this episode is going to be magical. We're going to go for a ride. This gentleman I've known for the better part of about 25 years, I think. He booked one of my old bands, Rent Boys. I went to so many wonderful shows that he booked over the years. He helped me put together the packaging for my last Western Motel album. Graphic artist, designer, artist in so many ways. Booking agent, promoter, comedian, a recording artist. Himself and his daughter together put out records, magazine publisher, and now we could even say that he's a book publisher. And most importantly, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, let's burn it down with Henry Owings. Whoosh.
Greetings, Earth people. How are we tonight?
I knew it, you know.
How are you doing, Tom?
You look beautiful, and there's so much to tackle. And the funny thing is I was thinking about during the pandemic, you were doing these wonderful things where you just walk through your house and show records and flyers and stuff of your past. Because we were all losing our minds. I was like hiding in my parents' closet. I got out of New York, and I texted you. I was like, this is so wonderful. Thank you for sharing this stuff with us. I got chills, and it gave me ideas to write new songs and do stuff. And I think that's what kind of got you going into your latest project, which congratulations. You were on Channel 2 local the other day. You looked amazing. Love your story.
Well, the thing that's weird, Tom, is, I without belaboring the fact too much, I was divorced. I got divorced, and mentally I was in a very, I wouldn't say destructive, but I was not my best Henry. And when I came out the other side, which I would say was about 3 years ago, it was right as the pandemic started.
Right.
And I just had an epiphany that I was tired of being, how should I put this? Not ashamed, but dismissive of my collection of stuff. And I have really no interest in trying to pull one over on anybody. I just really, the stuff that I've been given and the stuff I found and the stuff, like during the pandemic, I just enjoyed doing it because when people come to the house, they always look around at everything.
Oh, it's like a museum. It's a rock and roll museum.
I appreciate you saying that. It doesn't feel that way to me. It just feels like my house.
Right. Your natural habitat. Yeah.
And I don't really, it's like, I think the last two books that I just did, have really, and my recent career in design has kind of led me to like just leaning more into this than less. Like, I mean, I'm not like going, oh my God, I want to take a break. It's like, well, you know what? I can go have a margarita I can
Yes.
go for a walk. You know what? Maybe I'll go. How about this? I'll go to Mexico for a week. How about that? I go to
I,
Mexico for a
oh
week.
my goodness.
But it's like, I mean, my daughter is on autopilot. She's 10.
She
Uh,
is awesome. She is awesome.
well, she's 11 actually. Thank you. And my girlfriend is really just alarmingly supportive. And
Well,
work is
she is awesome as well.
yes, yeah. But I have found it's peculiar in insofar that I've never been with a partner that is so not so, my partners have all been supportive, but interactively supportive. Because I don't remember a single girlfriend helping me with assembling a record or doing a mailing or whatever,
Yeah.
nothing, zero. But I
Yeah.
never asked. And the thing that's really awesome is to have somebody who she does a lot of shit that I do, which is I just go, I'll do it. It's like it's like I just always tell, like, anytime I ever speak at a school, I always say the number one thing is don't be afraid to do a little work.
That's it. Take care of business. TCB.
Yeah,
That's
just
that's
I'm going to tell you a quick story. You're going to love this, Tom.
I love
Um,
stories. Can't see.
I've encountered a lot of gatekeepers in the last year, and I know what I mean by gatekeepers.
I do. Yeah.
And some of them have been amazing. Like, I mean, absolutely amazing. Like
Shockingly
the kind of
surprising. Yeah.
and but it's these how should I put it? These gatekeepers that want to keep everything to themselves,
Oh, excellent.
or they think that their stuff is more valuable, or I can't get inside their head. But what I keep thinking of is like, motherfucker, like, since day one, I have never said, "Oh, I wonder how well I'm going to get paid for this," ever, not
Right.
once. Like, my whole thing is, "Oh shit, I get to do this."
It's a labor of love. It's a
It's
hobby.
like
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's like if I went into like any one of the box sets that I've done and just said, I only will do it for X amount of dollars. It's like I would not have a third, a third, half, over half of my portfolio would be gone.
Right.
Because
And also the great worldly experiences, everything with it. I mean,
oh, dude,
unbelievable.
it's all about the stories. It's
Yeah.
all about the stories. Like, I
With
mean,
your peers and your heroes and everything else. Yeah.
oh, dude, I mean, it's like I don't fancy myself the biggest Husker Du fan. I mean, I love Husker Du, but I don't consider them like a top five.
Right. But
However,
I'm an old fan of
however,
the human. Yes. Yes.
there was a three-way tie in like 86, 87, and they were all on Warner Brothers. It was REM, The Replacements, and uh, REM, The Replacements, and Husker Du.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Because they were all playing the same size rooms. They were. And it's like REM took off a little, but
Mhm.
I don't know where I was going with this.
All the
Oh,
experiences.
yeah. So with I did this Husker Du box set,
I saw
and
it.
which it's like I took as a very heavy responsibility, because I
Sure.
just was I mean, I really hold them in high regard. And I knew that I was performing my work for one person and one person only, and that was Grant Hart, from the band, who designed everything.
Yeah.
And the fact that before he died, he at least didn't hate my work.
No, he respected it. He's getting respect
Because
from.
I never heard he was not one of these people that I would consider to be, like, not one to state his feelings, but he was dealing with some medical stuff, which led to his demise. And I just love that while he was suffering, I knew that I was not contributing to it. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? It's like I just wanted him to know he was in good hands. He was in good hands. And
Yeah.
like what I try and do with, like the 2 books that I just did, it's like, like going back to the gatekeeper thing. I get a little beside myself when people in the scene overvalue their
Yeah.
importance. And I look, whatever. I mean, it's like I come from the Fugazi scene. I don't come from the rock star scene. You get what I'm saying? It's like, and nothing against the careerists, but I like I have had a number of disappointments with gatekeepers, but one that happened this last week was where all I did is I asked this noted DJ. I just said, look, I'm going to the Auburn Avenue archives. Would you indulge me and give me 10 bands, 5, 2, 1? I don't care. That I should go and research while I'm there, because I mean the material I found was exceptional. But he wanted me to. He asked what the budget was.
Oh my goodness.
And like when I think, again, I'm all about people getting paid, but it would then lead one to believe that anytime you contact, I mean, everything is everything transactional? Like,
Right.
how about this? How about if I give you a quarter? I'll give you a quarter for answering an email with 2 words on it. How about that? I'll give you 50 cents, $1. I'll give you $1 for 10 names. How about that? And I just the gatekeepers can kiss my balls. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like I'm done. I'm done with them.
Well, I was going to say what I loved about your special, and telling everyone watching, thank you guys for watching. Atlanta +1, Athens +1. And you even talked about it on the news the other day on television. You said, this isn't even for me, it's for the community, it's for rock and roll. You had a flyer from the 1800s, and you go, this is going to Emory University and UGA in their museums, in their archives. And I absolutely love that. As a matter of fact, when I was sending information to Renee about you, I also said you are a humanitarian. You're doing the Lord's work. I mean, when you're pulling up a flyer from an old soldier who wanted a song played before someone dies in the 1800s, I'm like, this is brilliant.
Well, I think I'm very, like, my girlfriend has done an exceptional job of making me realize, Tom, that I should not be ashamed of being the most qualified motherfucker in the room to do this.
Yeah, taking care.
And I'm not, because it's not like, I mean, I've been a military history nerd since I was like 5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my dad used to, like, for vacation, we used to go to the Gettysburg battlefield, and he would, like, I mean, I know more about military history than anything. So when I start researching, this concert that happened right up the street, right up the fucking street, 3 months into the occupation of Atlanta, I'm really proud to be the one dork that has all of these different qualifications. I'm not a musician, but I've always been musician adjacent. So
yeah.
And primarily because it's like I don't steal anybody's drugs. I don't steal any drugs, and I don't owe anybody money.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's like, so nobody can really talk too much shit. So
there's so much to cover here, and I know we can go on forever, and we try to make this a 30-minute
do whatever you want. I drove home early just to get
appreciate
here.
My friend Rory Penland, the comedian who is awesome, he always tells me, he goes, when it's good, go over. So we can go 5 or 10 minutes over. I
Whatever.
love, there's so much to, because when you think of Athens, Georgia, which you were there and you were doing stuff before you started your magazine, Chunklet, you were doing stuff with Flagpole. And automatically, I'm sure you saw wonderful flyers from REM and Pylon and Beef Juice. But what great flyers would you say that, like, you were blown away when you were looking through the archives in Athens?
Well, in Athens, you mean like at special collections, or you mean the city in general?
No, just special collections like that. You went to
Oh,
someone's house.
special collections. Well, special collections, like everything in the two books is like, with minor exception, from personal collections.
Yeah, yeah.
Personal
It's
collections. And so what I started in earnest about 2 months ago was just like going, well, I guess I'll go to museums. And it's not that I'm afraid of the work. It's just I didn't need to go there. It's like, sorry. I mean, it's like I was able to, if I may, I think I was able to write, design, and publish two Grand Slam home run books in
so
7 months. And I feel like I'm not, yeah, like I'm just getting to cruising altitude. It's not like I did Chunklet. I did
chunk
Chunklet. It's like, I mean, doing a magazine, it's like I can do it with my eyes closed. It's like talking about putting on a show or something. It's like, dude, I
right.
can do it with, like both hands tied behind my back with, like somebody tickling me. It's like, so it's like, so to write it, design it, and publish it. Uh, Whereas I think a lot of people would try and figure out something a little bit, it's like, and I'm not harshing on them whatsoever. But it's like, oh, let's try and shop this around and find a publisher, or let's crowdsource it or whatever. And I was like, man, how about I'll just do it. It's like it wasn't me trying to like say, oh my God, I cannot wait to make so much fucking money. It's like, I mean, it's like what I think a lot of people don't realize. I mean, Chunklet was this way, and to see how many chunklets I have in the house currently, you would not believe how many I used to have. Like when issue 15 came out, that I mean, it did three printings, and
Yeah,
it was 25,000 copies, and
yeah.
most of them arrived at my house, which was
In box
on Grant Park, like
palette.
a
Yeah,
skid, like a fucking skid. It's like, and then like if I was lucky,
yeah.
I would have a band staying there, and so if I had a band staying, then I had extra hands to help me get upstairs. But like that's the thing about this book. It's no dissimilar than Chunklet,
It's
except
so
in
good, man.
advertising. That's literally it. So it's like I'm not daunted by this. But as far as going back to your original question about what were the collections I've most, or the things I've most enjoyed, it's it's a it's a peculiar question to get, insofar that, to me, it's like every piece I have gotten has felt divine. Like
Special.
it's not like I go, oh, I get so tired of eating cake. It's like, no, it's like I really enjoy the hunt. And when I find somebody, it could be Otis Redding's old trumpet player,
Yeah,
or Brian Colantuno, or like, literally name whoever it is. And
tonight.
it's like I just feel like I'm in this unique position to exploit this with the highest level of overall quality and expediency, and complete lack of drama.
That's
Like
well,
it's like I don't want to. I don't like nothing. Like I have no interest in grandstanding on any social media platform. All I want to do is do these books.
right.
And it's like, I'm sorry, like I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life.
Right.
It's like I feel like I've tapped into this fucked up superpower where if I like it's almost it's kind of like the whole the Native Americans always would when they would dance and they would take things to elevate their consciousness.
Yeah.
And when the white man came in and said, "Why do you do that?" And they said, "We do this so our spirits won't be mad at us."
Yeah, you're good
It's
at it.
like is to live. And the way I am looking at what I'm doing right now, I am doing it, and not that I'm a spiritual person in general, but I do like the idea of having this kind of selfless
Yeah.
like elevation to this, because it's like, dude, it's like the Atlanta book, one chunklet flyer,
Yeah. I mean,
one,
yeah.
one.
100. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, 688 flyers, six. You get what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
I'm really just trying to explain to people. It's like, dude, it's like, do you know about any of these bands? Because it's like, to me, it's like every day is a really fucking delightful journey, and
Wonderful.
uh,
Wonderful.
and I just really enjoy it, and people have been enjoying me, and I really look forward to it breaking even one day. But
Good.
whatever. I mean, it's like I mean, my girlfriend is making preliminary, like, because I told her, I was like, there were some publishers we could have done the plus one book with easily. However, I didn't want to get sidestepped with writing proposals or
Mhm.
doing PowerPoint presentations or literally anything that wasn't the work. You know
I
what
hear
I'm saying? And so it's like, I'm sorry I didn't go and kiss all the buttholes of the powers that be, but I'm gonna how about this? I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do this, and you guys up there in the academic castles, and like the people with the money and the power and the like all of this material. You go on with your thing. I'm gonna just keep
right.
doing this, and I it's like in 8 months to do 2 books and
So,
scan
so
15,000
I,
pieces. It's
those are
like
the
I'm just like doing circles around them, and whatever. It's
15
like I'm just doing the work.
physical scans, 15,000 physical scans of flyers.
Yep.
What I'm going to say, again, well, one, it's always been a pleasure. We've worked on several projects now together. And what I do love about you is because you're a one-stop shop. You take care of it. You say you're going to do something, you do it. And if you can cut out 5 other people, which means 5 other conversations and potential drama, why not? I just do this.
Yeah, it's like I don't need to. I'm 53. I don't have this dying need for approval. It's like how about this? I'm gonna just do it. And it's again, it's like I think back to my divorce, and it feels like, again, like something that was being tamped down for
Mhm.
years is finally uh uh matured, and I'm just fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, was it affordable to put out the book myself? Is it affordable to do it the way I do? No, but you know what? I don't have to go suck Amazon's dick.
that's right. And it's
And
led you.
I don't have to play the games. I can just
That's
put the books out and put them up on my website. I have never turned down a single retail request. Not a single one. None. And you know how many I've gotten? That many.
yeah,
3.
yeah.
So it's like I just don't have much bandwidth
Well,
for anything that's not the work.
Chunkler was in a bunch of independent record stores throughout the country back in the day, and I
Yeah.
loved it
Well, I
because
had a distributor.
be that, but it seems like now you just, you're able to sell, you're selling these. People love them. They're really important. And it is what it is. It's a wonderful archive of music history. And now you're looking into doing, I guess, Alabama. You're looking into doing two more books. I
Yeah,
love.
I'm doing Georgia and Alabama. It's like, why? Well, it's like when I did Athens and Atlanta, I was like, well, to do Athens, I might as well. I mean, it's like I might as well do Atlanta as well, only because I was thinking, well, it's like there's going to be a zillion bands I reach out to who will say, oh, I have flyers for, like Athens, but not Atlanta. And it's like, or, like some weird show in Wetumpka or whatever. And so I was like, well, the states are going to take a while. The
And the make
states, I think it's going to take a while, but the headway I have made on Georgia even impresses me. Like, because I can't believe how far back and how good the overall candidates are. It's like the Atlanta Daily World stuff is a gift. I'm going to just back up here right now. The Auburn Avenue, which is right in downtown Atlanta, was the heartbeat of the Black community in Atlanta prior to the interstate going directly into the middle of it and basically ripping the heart out of it. There was a magazine or a publication, a newspaper called the Atlanta Daily World, Black-owned publication, published right there on Auburn Avenue. And the stuff I got was it like, it's good when you're getting numb. When you're getting numb to, it's like, oh, here's another club show with Little Richard. It's like,
that's what I'm saying.
it's like, or it's like Sun Ra in 73 or 35, 1935. And it's just like, again, it's like where I'm less of an academic and more like the dork who just remembers everything. And I'm not punk rock guy. I'm not anything. It's like I've always been a music guy. I'm just like, I like music. And there's certain things that get me off more than others. But for the most part, it's like, it's like if somebody wants to, it's like my musical taste is not this book. It's not. It's Georgia. It's Athens. It's Atlanta. And
played somewhere, the Grateful Dead played somewhere, and you're seeing a flyer of it. I mean, you were pulling up flyers. You said that there's probably ones of musical history from like the 1700s because you're keeping on.
Oh yeah, no, I'm convinced. I have all the way to 1852.
That's
but I don't want to sound cocky, but we haven't even stepped foot in Savannah yet.
Scratch the surface.
Foot in Savannah, and Savannah was spared the fire. Okay, and so it's like we need to go to Augusta. We need to go to Valdosta. I mean, like these places, these really out of the way places. But the dates just, I mean, it's not like I am saying I need something from 1790. I don't say that. I just go, well, it's like I'm sure the idea of like putting up some sort of advertisement for a show at a port city in the 1790s is inside the realm of possibility.
Right.
And I could be wrong, but the way I'm looking at it is, well, let's just see what happens. It's like the Auburn Avenue stuff was like, I mean, the Auburn, to go back to Auburn Avenue, the whole point of that was in the 30s and 40s and 50s, name the Black artist, name it. And they played places the size of the Earl.
Right. I mean, the Royal Peacock, and then before that, of course. Yeah.
I mean, and so these are artists at the beginning of their career before, it's kind of like equating it to Nirvana playing the 40 watt.
Right.
It's no dissimilar. It's like there's zero, like, I mean, it's like the optics are different, the time is different, the race is different, same goddamn thing. And so to have Little Richard playing club shows out in Lithonia,
I mean, my
it's like, and you're just like, I mean, I'm there in the library by myself, like looking at the library and going, "Did you fucking look at this?" It's like, because it's not on Facebook, it's not on my phone, and I have to like dive in, and it's all just there. It's there, and so I'm just kind of if I feel like I'm walking around in these libraries and museums where they're like, you're like the first person who's come by in like months, and cool. Can I get a scan of that? It's like, I've really been, like, what's his name? That Jackson guy, the guy from Noonan, Alan Jackson. Like I like I went to this place in Noonan last week, and like the craziest thing, like it's like there was an Alan Jackson flyer up on the wall, and I asked them at this museum, and yeah, it's like every day is something like that.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite singers, and even have been influences on me, have been Marvin Gaye and Otis Redding, who's from Georgia. And I know you will probably find something that if at some place they probably played it like a VFW hall or something. In this.
I have a lot of Otis Redding.
Yeah.
And I've really, God, Tom, it's like it's I think the number one takeaway in the last couple of months since the Atlanta book came out is how I wish I could go back and include this stuff from the Ponciana and like the Sunset Casino and all these places going back to the 40s, because it's like when I look at it, you go, this is where rock and roll came from. I mean, you are like looking at the foundation of not just rock and roll, but the role of Black people in entertainment. And this one guy I met who was Otis's horn player, Newt Collier. He was 13 when he was performing on the Chitlin circuit, and to sit across from him, Tom, for 3 hours. I think I bought him like 5 beers. I just continually peppered him with questions, but they were not sensational questions. Like I think he enjoyed it because it's like, oh, he knows. I mean, it's like he's a promoter, or all of his, like it's like a lot of the, sort of the romanticizing.
Right, sure.
Of being a musician are kind of, they're both relevant yet immaterial at the same time. And I think from living in Athens as long as I did, like it taught me that fame is really a commodity I don't care about. But at the same time, some of my very talented friends have gone on to become multimillionaires.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's and I bully to them. I mean, it's like the way I'm looking at it, I'm just gonna do this until I'm not doing this.
Like I said, we can go on for hours talking about this. I want to say
we've gone over.
Yeah, that's okay. Let me just say this, that I'm such a big fan of, and what I appreciate, because I love how some things, they come full circle. You started off by wearing your heart on your sleeve, which I do often, and sometimes too much. When you said I was in a dark place, but instead of, even when and you acknowledge, like, we can be destructive, whatever, which I have been, you found something positive to do that helps you, that you want to do for the rest of your life, which is amazing and beautiful, gorgeous and brilliant. And you're going to share that with the world. So congratulations on these 2 books.
Thanks, Tom.
you so much for doing them. And it's an honor working with you. Every project I've done with you, we're just so easy. We just text. I'd say, I try to do this with Renee too. What do you need? I'll get it done. I'll see you. Let's have a beer. Let's have a cup of coffee. It's just a pleasure working with you, but it's also a pleasure just knowing you and having that cup of coffee or beer and talking about our lives and our problems and our families. And congratulations. Thank you so much for what you're doing. But really, thank you for sharing some of these stories with, the Burn It Down people. And I'm going to be letting them know and keeping them updated on what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I really cannot stress this enough. Like, I come from the Fugazi school. Like, I come from the let's just do it. Let's do it the way we want to do it, and they're not going to be, like lawyers or whatever. Like, how about if we just do our own thing and make our own micro economy or whatever? And it's like, not that I have a problem with publicists or whatever, but like it's like the books have sold just fine. I mean, they're not huge money makers, but I do like the idea of continuing this project. And so at any time somebody might say, oh my God, I have this or that, it's okay, cool. Yeah, bring it on over. I'll scan it. And but I'm just trying to have a good time, Tom. And it's like I want, it's like when the Atlanta book came out, it felt like the only thing I can just compare it to is like writing your postdoc dissertation on the city of Atlanta's music scene. That's the only thing I can compare it to, because it's like, I mean, I think I got an A fucking plus, and but I'm a little biased, but I really don't know what else I could have done. I really don't, and like, I want you, Tom Cheshire, to be proud of it, but I also want, name the person, it's like Claire Butler or Benjamin or Bill Taft, or, it's like, I want everybody to be proud of it. I don't want them to go, oh, it's like, because I don't play this clicky game of, it's like, oh, it's punk rock, or oh, it's hipster, or oh, it's indie, or it's like, it's fucking music, man. I mean, it's like, and I've just never been a very good proponent of putting labels on stuff. I moved to Atlanta, frankly, with a very low opinion of the music scene here, because I moved from Athens, for fuck's sake. I moved from Athens, where it's like the Olivia Tremor Control and Nutrimilk Hotel and all these bands were like Harvey Milk were really hitting their fucking stride. And when I moved here, it's like I was just and so to come into Atlanta with such a low estimation of this city, that I got to have not just to witness it, but to have a front row seat with special VIP all access passes.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
And again, it's like, who am I? I'm just like, now I'm just like a 53-year-old dork.
You're a fan, and thank you so much.
That's all I am. So
thank you so much. We'll have to do it to be continued, also, because to be updated on what you're working on in the future.
Yeah, anytime you want me to come on, I'd happily come on.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you again, Renee. Everyone, be good to each other. Much love and one love. H2O.
I'm going back to my space capsule. Good night, Earthlings.